What's going on, everyone? So yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers pulled off a heist in drafting Dalton Knecht. They were able to get him with the 17th pick in the 2024 NBA draft. This was a guy that was a unanimous top 10 pick. I mean, he was as high as number 6 on most boards. The absolute lowest he was, I think it was like Yahoo or something. I had him at 11. So for him to basically be the consensus top 10 pick, dropping all the way to 17th, is massive. And now the Lakers are moving into the second round of the draft for day 2. Remember, this is the first year ever in which they are splitting the first and second round into 2 days, which I'm a little surprised this took so long to do that, especially considering so many other sports do split the draft up into multiple days. You get the TV time and all that stuff. But nonetheless, I'm excited for the second round. We'll see if the Lakers end up, moving up somehow and end up getting another second round pick. Maybe they end up trading some future second rounds and are able to get into that second round. But more likely than not, they're bare minimum drafting Bronny James. I think everyone knows that that's what's coming. So probably looking at Knecht and Bronny James. I really like Knecht a lot. Did a whole video breaking him down. Go check that video out after this video. But one of the things that I want to talk about is Rob Pelinka spoke on trying to trade the 17th pick, that they were actively looking for picks or for trades leading into the pick, right? Now, look, I talked heavily about how I didn't expect any trades to get done right now on draft day. Again, outside of Lakers trade a future second for the 40th pick or something like that, right? Maybe something like that could happen. But I'm talking about like a real established trade where it's like, oh, Lakers just landed DeJounte Murray or Lakers just got this, right? Because more than anything, they're going to have to wait for D'Angelo Russell, right? Because depending on what D'Lo does, kind of depends and dictates the type of moves that the Lakers can make. Because if D'Lo opts in, well, then that just gives the Lakers so much more flexibility. If D'Lo opts out, that puts the Lakers in a tough spot and a tough bind, makes it a lot more challenging to do various trades. So they're probably going to have to wait for that. Secondly, they would have had to draft the 17th pick regardless. And then third, there weren't many trades, period, right? And even the ones that were kind of just like picks for picks type thing, right? Future picks for picks now. And also, teams are going to wait. We're not even in the offseason. Teams are going to be patient. You look at the trades that happened. They were like it was like the Knicks getting completely fleeced for Mikal Bridges. Like, if you're the Nets, you don't say no to something like that. They basically got what, 5 firsts and like a pick swap. You don't say no to that. I don't care what time it is, right? So that obviously is a no-brainer. Yeah, you had like Denny Ajayi, he gets traded. Again, that was a little out of left field, but not like this huge significant trade, right? You're not going to really see the big impact trades until we get into free agency. Once you get into free agency and now everyone's, running and gunning, everyone's, putting together their favorite packages and all that stuff. Now everything kind of becomes different, right? So, and even Rob Pelinka talked about how, hey, we tried to explore these types of trades. We tried to look in various areas, but right now trades are just kind of difficult, right? The asking price for things are insane. Well, again, it's early. This is usually the time where people we want 5 firsts for this guy. And then as you move closer and closer into free agency, all of a sudden this picks up. There's also the concerns of the market kind of being set with some of these trades. Now, the Mikal Bridges trade, I don't think will have any impact on the market. I don't, right? One, most teams don't even have 5 first-round picks to trade. And secondly, right, just like the Rudy Gobert trade, right? Everybody and their mother thought that trade was going to set the market and, oh no, it just destroyed any potential trades and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was kind of like, no, Minnesota just got fleeced and that was an outlier, right? And it had zero impact on the market. Like nobody cared about that trade, right? I think that that's kind of the Mikal Bridges trade. I think everyone kind of knows what the deal is. Knicks kind of got fleeced on that deal, but they paid a premium for a guy that they believe is the guy to put them over the top, on top of the Villanova connections. He's like the perfect complementary piece, right? There was a lot of factors that went into that. And Brooklyn just kind of took advantage in that regard, right? I'd love a trade. Trade's probably not happening, again, outside of like, oh, hey, we're trading, a future second for, the 40th pick or something like that. For the most part, we got Knecht. He's the guy that we're gonna kind of put our attention on. I think he's a guy that, look, is it possible he could end up getting traded? Very possible, right? Look, if the Lakers need to include him in order to get a DeJounte Murray or something like that, they will do it, right? But I think given that, he was 23 years old, kind of signals to me that the Lakers are probably going to keep him. Lakers are really high on him and want to value him. But you could also argue that considering that he was this consensus top 10 pick and he fell to the 17th, that maybe his value is higher than it would be had, it been, a Dayron Holmes or something like that, right? Where it would have been like a top, like an actual perceived 17th pick. Like this is a guy that was looked at as top 10 talent in this year's draft, right? And he just kind of fell primarily because of his age. Again, he's 23 years old, but also a lot of it was just kind of how things shaped up. I mean, even like Clegan was looked at as like he was going to go top 3 to 5. He ended up falling. There were several guys that ended up kind of falling in places that they weren't expecting, right? I mean, even Zach Edey was looked at as like a 15 to 20 range guy, and he ended up getting taken 9th, right? So it kind of pushed guys back, right? And then even like, like Ron Holland was a guy that at most drafts was looked at anywhere from like 8th to 11th, but a lot of people had him at 11th. There were even talks about him even falling further than that. He gets drafted in the top 10, and so again pushes guys back. So no, I'm expecting the Lakers to very likely keep him and kind of stand pat right now. I do think that he also gives you Austin Reeves insurance. I don't think the Lakers are going to necessarily trade Austin Reeves. I don't think that they will necessarily trade Austin Reeves, but there is always that potential that like, hey, maybe Reeves ends up getting moved and you go get DeJounte Murray, and now you got him that can kind of come in, step in, and kind of play that role, right? He's looked at as a ready now guy, a guy that can make an impact right out the gate, top of making an impact right out the gate. He's a guy that has like good size, good athleticism, good wingspan. He's 6'5" and a half, 6'6". So he's basically, 6'5", 6'6", and he's got like a 6'9" wingspan, good athleticism, 39 inch vertical, right? This guy was like second in lane agility. He was like first in shuffle. Like the guy has all the tools to have some success. Think that this was a huge pickup by the Lakers. Think Laker fans are going to fall in love with him. I'd like to keep him personally, right? Like if you can pull off trades without having to include him, then do it, right? Because this is just one less piece the Lakers would have to get. Right? You're talking about a guy that come in immediate. Like I think he could be. I've seen people throw out some crap like, oh, this guy right out the gate could be a 15, 20 point game guy. Could he? Sure. You never know, right? Realistically, he's probably, I could see him maybe in like the maybe 8 to 10 range. But it all boils down to, opportunity, playing time, shot attempts, right? The role he plays. There's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not as just straightforward as like, oh, he's on the court, so he's generating points. No, like, if he only gets 3 attempts per game, even if he goes 3 for 3, at most it's 9 points. He's not getting to 20 or anything. But this is a guy that, he scored like 35 6 times in college, right? Like, it's a guy that go get buckets. And I think a lot of people are going to fall in love with this guy if you're not familiar with him already. But I would like to see a couple moves, couple trades. Anyway, again, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. As always, this is a discussion. What do you think? Do you want to see the Lakers pull off trade? Do you not want to see them pull off trade? How you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.